Alright, so check this out. Samsung just dropped a mid-range phone that honestly has no business being this good for the price. The Galaxy A37 is here, and I ain't gonna lie, some of these specs had me doing a double take. Let me break it all down for you. Display. So the display on the Galaxy A37 is a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED panel with 120 Hz refresh rate and 1900 nits peak brightness. For a mid-range phone, that is seriously impressive. Scrolling feels smooth, colors pop, and even outside in direct sunlight, you can read everything clearly. Samsung also added Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the front, so this thing can actually take a hit. Real talk, most phones at this price give you a dim AMOLED at best. Samsung went all in here, and you can tell. Would you guys notice the difference between this and a flagship display? Be honest with me in the comments. But the display is just the beginning. Here is what is running under the hood. Performance Galaxy. A37 is powered by Samsung's own Exynos 1480, the same chip that was in the Galaxy A55, and that phone handled everything smoothly. You get 8 GB of RAM as standard with 128 or 256 gigs storage options, and there is even a 12 GB RAM model if you want that extra headroom. No micro SD slot though, Samsung killed that last year and it is not coming back. For daily use like social media streaming and light gaming, this phone keeps up no problem. Not gonna compete with flagships, but for what most people actually do, more than enough. How much RAM do you guys actually need? Drop it in the comments. Now let's talk cameras. Camera. Here is where it gets interesting. Triple setup on the back, 50 megapixel main sensor with a larger 1/1 56-inch size, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel macro. That bigger main sensor means better low-light performance and more natural depth in your photos. Samsung also brought advanced portrait mode down to the A37, which was previously only available on the more expensive A56. That is a solid move right there. Front camera is 12 megapixels and handles selfies and video calls just fine. And that new camera island on the back, Samsung calls it the Ambient Island, has this translucent design that honestly makes the phone look way more premium than its price suggests. I see you, Samsung! For those of you who take a lot of photos, do you think mid-range cameras can actually compete with flagships now? I want to hear your take on that. But none of this matters if the battery dies on you, right? Battery and charging, Samsung kept the 5000 mAh battery, and that easily gets you through a full day and probably into the next morning depending on how hard you push it. Charging is at 45 watts wired, which gets you from 0 to a usable level in about 30 minutes. No wireless charging at this price point, but honestly, that is expected and totally fair. The Exynos 1480 is also more power efficient than what the A36 had, so you should see slightly better screen on time even with the same battery size. For anyone always on their phone, this battery setup is solid. How long does your current phone last you guys? Let me know. Software and durability. Galaxy A37 ships with Android 16 and One UI 8.5 right out of the box. Samsung is promising 6 years of software updates, which is massive for a mid-range phone. That means you are covered all the way until 2032. Let that sink in. The phone is also IP68 rated for dust and water resistance, so it can handle getting wet no problem. Build quality uses Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on both front and back, which is honestly rare at this price. 6 years of updates plus IP68 plus Victus Plus glass straight up. Not many brands at this price are giving you this kind of long-term value. Samsung clearly built this phone to last. Price and value. Here is the best part. Galaxy A37 starts at $399, and Samsung did not raise the price from last year. In a year where literally everything got more expensive, including the Galaxy S26. That is a big deal. AMOLED display, triple camera, IP68, 6 years of updates, 45-watt charging, all for $399. It goes on sale April 10. If you have been waiting for a solid mid-range Samsung phone, this might be the one. What do you guys think? Is $399 worth it, or would you save up for something higher? Tell me in the comments. Alright, so check this out. Samsung just dropped a mid-range phone that honestly has no business being this good for the price. The Galaxy A37 is here, and I ain't gonna lie, some of these specs had me doing a double take. Let me break it all down for you.